Hello everyone, welcome to Every Friday Company Financials. And today we'll be discussing how long it takes a company to turn the goods they purchase all the way to finished goods, to sales, and back into cash. And what you see the diagram in here is a typical operating cycle for a manufacturing company. And really go from cash to short-term liability accounts payable, that stock issuing into raw material purchase on credits to long-term investment on capex, stock buyback, dividend, to finished goods, to sales, and back to cash again. So how do we measure this, right? How many days we can calculate for the short-term operating cycle? Usually there are three ratios we look at. One is inventory days on hand. It measures the days from raw materials to finished goods all the way to sales. Another one is accounts receivable turnover. It really calculates how many days take company to collect its sales on credit. Okay. Another one is accounts payable, really measures company the number of days take the company from cash to pay its vendors. And one thing I would like you to note in here is we're measuring short term, I would say current assets in here, finished goods, right? Accounts receivables, cash, to accounts payable, current liability. So this really measure the short term cash inflow and outflow. So next, I'm going to dive into detailed financial about Tesla to calculate this operating cycle for Tesla. So before I dive into details about Tesla, I'd like to make a disclaimer in here. I'm not a financial advisor, not a lawyer, so please don't take it as a financial advice. This table I created based on Tesla's 10K from 2018 to 2022, and then 10Q for the first 4 quarters current year, which is 2023. The lower panel of this table really calculates the three ratios I just mentioned in the prior slide. And everything you see in here is in days, okay? So 77 days means it takes Tesla 77 days at the end of 2022 to turn raw materials into cars and into sales. And 13 days really measures the company takes 13 days to collect its accounts receivable, which is still on credit, into cash. And 68 days is the days took Tesla to pay its vendors accounts payables, okay? So couple of things, right? One is when you look at these three ratios, it's best to look at it with in the same industry with other companies. So that can give you a comparable, right? It would not make any sense to compare Tesla's this ratio with a grocery company because a grocery company will have totally different ratios than a car manufacturing company on this. And secondly is we can see a trend, right? So from 2018 to 2022, even though, right, this inventory turnover ratio has been increased, right, days on hand, but for the first half of the year in 2023, Tesla did make improvement, right, from 77 days to 64 days to turn parts into cars and into sales, right? So we want this inventory days on hand to be shorter so that we can quickly turn our investment into cash, right, and to make future investment, future growth for the company. And then on receivables, there has been improvement made from back to 2018 to 2022, right? And then has been stable for the first half of the year, which around 12, 13 days. About the payable to vendors, right? We can see Tesla has been stretching, right, the payment to vendors from 58 days 5 years ago to 68 days the end of 2022. And usually, right, we think, hey, it would be always good to stretch out the vendors to pay them late so that we can delay our cash outflow. In some instances, that's true, but a lot of times, there is a bad impact on the other end as well. So Tesla has improved, right, its number of days to pay its vendors from 68 days to like 56 days at the end of Q2 2023. So overall, really, right, what does really mean to us, right, to investor? So the way I look at it is I look at cash inflow, right? So how long it takes the company to make cash inflow? So which is the 64 days at the end of 2022 and the 13 days at the middle of 2023, right? So that's about 77 days to make cash inflow, to turn raw materials, to sell, to cash, right? So that's take about 77 days at the end of 2023. And it takes company 56 days need to pay the vendor, right? So now we look at this, okay, there is something like a 20 days gap in here, right? So the cash inflow takes 77 days, but cash outflow takes 56 days. So how are we going to cover the gap in here? And is company okay, right? So the way I look at that is I also pull out the working capital. So working capital is really a snapshot of company's short-term financials, looking at the current assets versus current liability. So this 1.6, right, is really means the company at the end of Q2 2023 had 1.6 times of current assets over its current liability, which means the company has no short-term liquidity issues at all. So the company can cover the 20 days gap either by cash on hand already, or by debt, or long-term debt. So overall, right, the company is in a good short-term financial health. So that's the conclusion I would draw by looking at this. Okay, so this really is it for Tesla for this Friday. And hope you like this video. If you do, please do give thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye.